Hey family, thank you for joining the Bali's Journey to Ghana. We thank you for choosing to watch our videos. We never take it for granted, and we're so glad that you're here again. Again, thank you so much for being with us. Today, we wanted to talk to you about to bank or not to bank in Ghana. So when Babe and I were in the States, we often had a conversation about banking in Ghana. Are we going to bank in Ghana? What does that look like? How will we access our funds in the States from Ghana? How will we do that? And so we were really concerned about that when we were in the States. And so one of the things that we did when we were trying to research on getting our Ghana cards and things like that, we connected with the African Diaspora Resource Center. And what they did was help us set up what they call the Bare Essentials. So they helped us to get our Ghana card, they helped us to get our phone SIM card and situation set up, and they helped us to get our bank account. Now, if you're coming to Ghana and you don't know anybody, like, this is a great resource office to go to. You just have to get there. They will take you around to get your Ghana card. Someone will come to the office and meet you to the office to get your phone set up, and a banking representative will come and meet you at the office. And so I found it to be very convenient. It took a little bit of time, but it's things that we needed. So it was, well worth it and everything. So again, if you're coming to Ghana and you're alone and you don't know anybody, this is a great place to start, again, for your Ghana card, your phone setup, and your bank account, okay? Which is one of the things that we were very concerned about, the bank account, right? So how the process worked is when we were in the States, we set up a 15-minute consultation. And so the young lady told us what she needed for our bank account specifically, right? We're talking about the bank account today. And so what she asked us to bring was copies of, notarized copies of our bank accounts, no more than 90 days old, right? So notarized copies of our bank accounts, notarized copies of utility bills in our names, and I even brought a notarized copy of our marriage certificate because some of the names on the utility bills was in my maiden name, and my husband and I have been married for 4 years, and so that name change and stuff had not taken place on the bills. So I had the marriage certificate notarized as well. So these were things they asked us to bring, right? So we get to the office, we give them all this information. The bank representative, he's there, he takes pictures and photos of everything, and he approves everything. Now, the tricky part is when we left the office, for about 2 weeks after we left the office, which is why we're making this video, because I want you all to be informed that when you are coming, there's not a lot of choices for us foreigners, right? That's what they call us, foreigners, for banks. And so our choice at the office was the First National Bank Ghana, right? And so after we're here for a little bit and we've obtained residency, we'll have quite a few more choices. But just coming in, this was our choice of bank that we were given, First National Bank. So for about 2 weeks after that appointment, the gentleman proceeded to call us and ask us for additional paperwork that they did not ask us for while we were in the States, right? They were very concerned about how we were going to fund these bank accounts that we had opened, and they wanted proof of the funds. So I, said to them again, well, I gave you a bank statement, a notarized bank statement, right? They wanted to know, well, how will you fund it? And so I, told him how we planned it to fund, and he wanted to know, well, where is it on the bank statement? So I had to literally walk him through page by page to show him what was from my employer, what was from my husband's employer, right? But what he wanted was, what did he say he wanted? He wanted something from my employer, like an offer letter. Well, I had been there over 20 years. Like I haven't had an offer letter in 20 years. So, And now I'm in Ghana, so we no longer had access to any email. He was asking for things like an old badge, employee badge, and we had to explain to him that, you know, when we leave these places, they have to have those things back. We don't get to keep those things. And so he proceeded to call for 2 weeks. So he was just wanting us to call the states and get these things. And so finally, out of frustration, I told him, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. I've brought everything that you asked us to bring. I've had it notarized. It's a legal document. And I'm not going to do this back and forth with the states. And out of frustration, I had to just tell them I just couldn't do that. And so my question to him was, do I need to come and close the accounts? And so he just said that was up to me. I wasn't sure what to do at that point. I didn't know if he was asking me to come and close the accounts because you can't have them open without this information I'm asking you for. I didn't know what he was trying to say. So he proceeded for 2 weeks to call us, and finally I was just like, I can't do that. And so I go into the bank at some point, and I'm having the same conversation with the young lady, and she assures me it's okay. She assures me it's okay. And so now I'm nervous. I'm nervous now. I'm nervous to have money sent to the bank. I'm nervous to use the account. I don't know what to do with it. So I told my husband, I said, let's do a test wire. Let's do a small wire and let's just see what happens. So we did a small wire from our US account to our Ghana account. It took about 7 to 8 days, and sure enough, when the money was transferred to the account, I got a phone call from a bank representative to notify me that the wire was received, but they needed proof of where the funds was coming from. I said, listen, I have already given you that information. And finally, the representative said, okay, and they hung up. Well, I wasn't understanding really what that meant, honestly. I didn't know what that really meant. I'm still at this point afraid to use the account. So when we go to the bank again, I need to go to the bank again, a young lady, she approaches me and she says, so how are the bank accounts going? So she wanted me to know that, you know, she knew that the frustration that I had and she knew that what was going on, and she was asking me now, how are they going for you? And I said, well, I think they got them worked out. And so she assured me that they did. And every time I went in there, she approached me about those accounts. And so I think that she was able to see the frustration on my face, hear it in my voice, because it's a very scary thing, you know, for us to open up an account, and the expectation is to be able to use it. And if I start to have money come to that account and I can't access it, like that would just not be a good thing. So I was very uncomfortable with that, and I made it known, and it's all worked out now. So I do want to say that. But the takeaway from this little conversation is, when you are coming, if you are planning to bank in Ghana, because you definitely don't have to, but if you're planning to bank in Ghana and you're going to fund those accounts, make sure that you bring proof of how you're going to fund that account, because the African Diaspora Office does not tell you that, right? And so this will help to lessen your frustration. So bring, notarize how you plan to fund that account, if that is through a pension. I mean, if that's important to you to open up an account in Ghana, then that's just something they're going to ask you for, right? So long story short, that worked out. I have circled back to the African Diaspora Resource Center to speak to them at the office to let them know that, listen, the bank is needing not just the information you asked me to bring, but they're needing additional information. So if you can please tell the diaspora that they need this information, because if not, they're going to be very frustrated. So she was very grateful for the updating the information, and she said that she would make sure that she would have a conversation with First National Bank so that they can get again on the same page and make sure that they're asking for the appropriate documents. So that has been our experience. Now you may have a different experience, but I just wanted to let you guys know that if you are planning to fund an account specifically at First National Bank, because that's the only one I know of, that they will want to see proof of how you plan to fund that account. right? The gentleman explained to me that they have to be protective against extortion. I respect that. I do realize that he was probably only asking me these things because of what he was asked to do, which I completely understand. But I did have to let them know that I'm not going to go back and forth with the states. I brought what you asked me to bring, and it all worked out. They were always very nice to me. They were always very professional. But I think we just had to kind of get an understanding of the things that they were asking me for, I no longer had access to. And the information that you did ask me for, I brought. It's legal, there are legal documents, and this is what I have. And so it all worked out. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. And so, yeah. Now, here's another thing. You don't have to bank in Ghana. I mean, you could live in Ghana, never bank in Ghana. I just wanted to, since I'm going to be living here, I just wanted to be able to bank in Ghana. So, you know, there's things like Remitly that you can use, Tap Send and SendWave, things like that you can use. From Remitly, specifically, you can have money sent directly to your mobile money account, and you have it on your mobile money account. And so, you know, your what is it? Your limit can be whatever they agree to let you have or whatever, but you can access your money from the States. So I know a lot of people, I've heard of a lot of people who don't even bank in Ghana. So don't be fearful about you not being able to access your money when you get here. You definitely can. Again, I just chose to have a bank account in Ghana. And so that's what we did. And so I hope this video was very helpful to you. It's very short and to the point, but the takeaway is if you're going to be banking in Ghana, bring what they ask you to bring, notarize it, and then bring proof of how where the funds will be coming from. That's very important to them. And so that will kind of alleviate some stress for you. And yeah, I hope that was very helpful for you. But again, to bank or not to bank in Ghana is completely up to you. You definitely don't have to. Okay, so again, I hope this was helpful. Thank you guys for so much for watching. Please subscribe, share, and like the video. And we'll see you next time. Peace.